In today's video, we're going to go through 5 major Forex pairs. We're going to talk about my predictions for each of these pairs, including where I think these pairs are going to go, and also how I plan to trade them for the next big move on all 5 of these major Forex pairs. Not only that, I'm also going to be teaching you guys exactly how I make these predictions each and every week, because as the age-old saying goes, you give a man a fish to feed him for a day, you teach a man to fish to feed him for a lifetime. So in this video, I will be figuratively and metaphorically teaching you to fish. Anyway, welcome to the trading channel, guys. I'm Steven, your honest trading coach. And if you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button below the video to the right-hand side and the notification bell to be alerted when we come out with new content just like this each and every week. Also, go ahead and click that like button for me while the intro and disclaimer roll, and I'll see you guys directly after. So guys, like I was talking about before the intro, we're going to make predictions on 5 major pairs. We're actually going to start out here on the Euro-Dollar pair. We're going to talk about where I think this market's going to go, why I think that, and also how do we plan to trade around that knowledge. So let's go ahead and dive into the Euro-Dollar and check that out now. Here we are on this Euro-Dollar chart. What we have here is a level worth paying attention to around 1.1844. The reason this is a level worth paying attention to is because it's a level that's been tested multiple times in the past as support and resistance. You can see support in through there, resistance here, support through here, and resistance here. Now, the reason that that's important is because this market has respected this level multiple times. We've already seen this market respect this level more than 5 times. So what we are waiting on is the market to push up on the Euro-Dollar to the 118.44 level. And that's where we're going to be looking for shorting opportunities to push the market down. As you can see, this market's already tapped that level and pushed down a little, but if we get some kind of retest here of that area, that'll be a great chance to look for a trading opportunity to the downside. So for the initial prediction here on the Euro-Dollar, we're expecting trend continuation to the downside. As you can see, this market has recently pushed down, creating a low, a lower high, lower low. This could in fact be our lower high and push the market down to at least retest the 115.4 area, possibly even break into trend continuation and make it all the way down to our 114 area. So that's what we're expecting here out of the Euro-Dollar. And the reason we're expecting that is because we're looking at the predetermined trend of the market. Here we have a market that's in an obvious downtrend, but after breaking this period of consolidation we had back at the beginning of 2018 through April. After breaking through that period of consolidation and pushing down into this downtrend, we're already expecting this market to move lower. We also know that if we're expecting it to move lower, we need to figure out where we want to place a trade in order to hop on that trend. Well, the way we do that is take a look, looking left at our previous support level that was just broken, which is right here. And that level happened to line up with other support and resistance levels that the market's used and respected as support and resistance in the past, making it a powerful level. And if we have a very powerful level that's coming while in trend with a certain currency pair, then that can make for really accurate trading opportunities, as we see here on the Euro-Dollar. So that's our predictions for this pair. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next pair now, which is going to be the dollar-yen. We're going to do the same type of analysis here. So on the dollar-yen, we actually have a lot of levels pointed out already. We also had a nice trade from the level we have pointed out at 110.14 in the EAP Training Program. I'll post a screenshot of that trade on the screen somewhere, but we actually placed a trade right in here based on this level of previous structure, the left shoulder, if you will, of this head and shoulders pattern right here. We placed a trade based on that, looking for some trend continuation to push the market down. We ended up hitting one target, but now as you can see, this market's pushed up and broken above our previous level of resistance. So with that being the case, what are we expecting next? Well, if we get a close up here above our previous resistance level, then what we're expecting is this market to continue in the upwards direction to the 111 even handle. If that's the case, then what can we look for? Well, we can look for trading opportunities on lower time frames to get involved on the way up to that 111 even handle. So all in all, here on the dollar-yen, unless this daily candle that we're looking at right now closes back below our previous resistance level, then we're expecting trend continuation to the upside. Another way we can take advantage of that is if we get this close above the previous resistance level, then we could see a pullback into 110.15. And if we get that, that's a good place to start looking for some trend continuation trading opportunities to the upside here on the dollar yen. And that's what we're going to be looking for here on this pair. Let's go ahead and move on to our next pair now. and predict the moves for our dollar Swiss trading pair. Here on the dollar Swiss, we have a few levels pointed out here as well. We also had a really good trade in the EAP training program from this level here on the dollar Swiss. It ended up just clipping one target and stopping us out for break even before this big massive move down, but still ended up being a one target winning trade. Now here, in order to predict the next market move, we really have to zoom the chart out and find some levels of structure. We see that this market's been pushing down as of most recently. This move in through here is what I'm talking about. With that being the case, I really expect this market to continue pushing down. And how do we expect the market to continue pushing down? Well, we need to look back at previous levels of support and resistance to find a level that's been tested multiple times that could act as major resistance for this market now that we expect it to continue lower. With that being the case, if you look with me here, our blue line that we just moved a little has acted as support. We could really call that resistance there, acted as support and support back here. With that being the case, this is our major level of structure. While in trend, this is a level we're going to be looking at for possible shorting opportunities. So for the near future here on the dollar Swiss, we're looking at 0.9864 for possible shorting opportunities. What we'll be doing is actually taking this market down to a lower time frame and looking for possible short trades based on entry reasons down on that lower time frame. So here on the dollar Swiss, again, initially we're looking for some kind of short trade to push the market lower, possibly even into trend continuation and break through these lows here around 0.98. So that's what we're going to be looking for here on the dollar Swiss. We'll go ahead and move on now to our next pair and make some predictions for the pound dollar. Pound dollar had a really nice cipher pattern on a 4-hour chart. We'll go ahead and delete that. That trade has already went through. But as you can see, this is another pair similar to the Eurodollar that's now pushing into a downtrend. While pushing into this downtrend, we need to point out our major levels of structure, one for trend continuation, and two, so we can have counter trend opportunities at these specific major levels of structure. So because of that, what we're waiting for here on this pound dollar pair is, well, the market's just pushed into a major level of structure support around 1.3339. At that level is a great place to look for possible long opportunities on lower time frames. If we get a possible long trade, if we get a long entry there based on some of those EAP trading strategies that we teach in the new EAP training program, then that's when we'll start looking for possible long trades and when we'll try to take advantage of a little counter trend bounce, possibly back up to previous structure support at 1.3509. Let me explain a little more about what I mean by that. So this market recently broke below this period of consolidation. What we expect after that trend continuation is another lower high and then lower low. In order to get that, we have to point out levels that are high likelihood levels that this market is going to use in order to create trend continuation. So one of those high likelihood levels is 1.3509. With that being the case, we can really say that we expect this market, if we do get up to that 1.3509 level, to use that level as resistance at least for a short period of time and give us an opportunity on a smaller time frame to take this market short. So 1.3509 is the level of resistance we're paying attention to here on the pound dollar. And as for support, we're looking around where the market is now at the 1.3339 level for possible support bounces to push us up to that level here on the pound dollar. So now we'll go ahead and move on to our last pair, which is going to be predictions for the Aussie dollar. This pair actually has a perfect example of exactly what I'm talking about with the other pairs, but it's already happened. So on the Aussie dollar, we've already made it up to that level of structure we were talking about, the 0.765 level. We talked about this level a couple weeks ago in our last weekly market predictions video, but this is a level that's been tested once as support, again as support, through here as resistance. And if we zoom the chart out a little more, you can see that this market used that level for resistance again back here. So with that being the case, we know that this trade right here, this move down, meets all the criteria of everything we've talked about in this video. We're looking for a market that's in a downtrend or an uptrend, right? And here we can see an obvious downtrend from this level. We have a push down followed by lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low. Looking for that lower high. Where do we want to look for that lower high at? What's the best probability area that we have for that lower high to be created and give us trend continuation? Is right around these major levels of structure that we discussed. So as we have this major level of structure, the market comes up into that level. That's where we would have been looking for a trading opportunity on a lower time frame to push this market down in trend continuation. So for the Aussie dollar, we're expecting a continuation of this trend down to at least retest our previous lows at 0.745. At that level is a good place we could look for possible counter trend bounces to the upside before the market continues in trend and possibly pushes all the way down to 0.735. So guys, that's what we're going to be paying attention to for here on the Aussie dollar. The way we're going to take advantage of that, I'll go ahead and zoom this chart in a little bit. The way we're going to be taking advantage of that is we're going to be looking for short trades on lower time frames, at least down to our level of structure at 0.75. So that's our predictions on the top 5 major pairs. That's what we're expecting each of them to do and how we plan to take advantage of those moves. And this, guys, is one of the ways you can catch major moves in the market. As you can see here on our Aussie dollar pair, this move in between here from our level of major structure down to our next level is over 150 pips. So this is a way that you can use to catch really big moves in the market, is by utilizing major levels of structure and combining that with daily trends. Then combining that with entry reasons on a smaller time frame. So traders, I hope this was a valuable video. If it was, make sure you click that like button, make sure you're subscribed. And we did just release a brand new EAP training program with brand new content. We have new strategies, new entry reasons, along with a step-by-step process that takes you through building an entire trading plan around one specific strategy. And the best part is you do that side by side with me through video tutorials. So if that sounds like it could be valuable for your trading, or if you're interested in learning more about that program, then there's a link in the description labeled EAP. Check that out. Also, stick around through the outro if you want to see some testimonials from other traders who have already been through that program. I hope you guys trade green. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you in the next video.
With